uphold the truth of ongoing revelation.
Let us celebrate the glory of our tradition, draw refreshment from well springs of prayer. Let us respect tradition and encourage creative faith.
Let us dress ourselves in the garments of God, compassion for the needy, embrace of the stranger, and spread the canopy of peace all over the world.
Amen. So, okay, well, so time for the sermon. First of all, thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Kira. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Melanie.
Here, you can sit now.
Oh, thanks. Good. Where are you going?
Right back there.
Okay. So, Shabbat Shalom. It's hot out today, huh? So, okay, so this week's Parsha is Parsha Nazar. And it is the longest single Parsha in the Torah. And it contains 176 verses. But trust me, I won't summarize all of them for you tonight. So Nazar means to lift up. But in this Parsha, the word is meant to be used as to take a count, not account, ACC, but a count. As it continues last week's Parsha with the taking of the census of the eligible Levites who are to perform the duties in the tent of meeting. The census only counts males between the ages of 30 to 50. And then the Parsha goes on with a detailed description of each of the family's duties as the Israelites continue on their journey through the desert. And there's a grand total of 8,580 eligible Levites. The Parsha continues to describe a test for a woman accused by her husband of being unfaithful, known as a sotah. She's made to drink water mixed with earth from the floor of the Mishkan and ink from a scroll of curses. If guilty, her stomach would swell and her thigh erupt. If innocent, nothing would happen. The Parsha continues on to discuss the laws of the Nazir. The Nazir, I think it's pronounced Nazir, is a person who chooses to dedicate him or herself to God and vows for a specific period of time to do more than required by the 613 commandments. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Continuing on, the Torah then provides Moses with instructions to teach Aaron a special priestly blessing that he and the priests are to use to bless the people Israel. From there, the Parsha continues with the inauguration of the Tabernacle and a very detailed description of the gifts the 12 tribal leaders will bring, even though all the gifts are identical. The gifts are then totaled up, and finally the Parsha concludes with the description of how God would talk to Moses with his voice emanating from between the two cherubs atop the Holy Ark. So there's a lot in this Parsha, like that's not all 176 verses. But the two parts that intrigue me the most are the Nazir and the priestly blessing. So I'll talk a little bit about that. The Nazir is someone, either a man or a woman, who chooses to dedicate him or herself to God for a specific period, like 30 days, or it could be for life. The Nazir would take a vow to abstain from partaking of grapes or any of its byproducts, so no wine, no raisins, etc. I won't be a Nazir. The Nazir would not cut his or her hair or come into contact with a dead body, even that of a mother, father, wife, husband, child. Should someone die during this period, the Nazir couldn't go attend the funeral. At the end, the Nazir would bring a sin offering, a burnt offering, a full offering, and a grain offering to the temple. The Nazir then shaves his head, or her head, and could again drink wine. One thing the Torah does not explain is why choose to become a Nazir. So, as always, varying thoughts and opinions. Rashi explains that the word Nazir comes from the root word meaning to separate oneself and refers to the students of Torah who keep themselves separate from the ways of ordinary people. Another scholar, Bachya ben Joseph ibn Pakuda of the 11th century, praised the Nazirite practice by and practice and discipline by arguing that such behavior was necessary to combat the daily temptations and desires that often lead people down destructive paths. However, other commentators disagreed and insist that the life of the Nazarite was sinful, hence the need for a sin offering at the conclusion. Rabbi Eliezer HaKapar from the 2nd century said that abstaining from wine and denying themselves of life's pleasures, the Nazarite themselves were sinners, since they were not observing the Torah's commandments of enjoying life and pleasures. Maimonides, interestingly, holds both views, both the positive and the negative. And in support of the position of HaKapar, our tradition forbids us from denying ourselves from partaking in any of the joys permitted by the Torah, and he suggests that the Torah used the example of the Nazir as a warning against extreme behavior or self-denial that would cause us to separate ourselves from people. Our behavior should be moderation in all things and not extremes. I kind of like Maimonides' idea. Finally, I just want to touch on the priestly blessing for a moment, which we are all familiar with, and I'll conclude with a meditation inspired by the final line of the Torah passage. So the blessing reads, "May the Lord bless you and watch over you. May the Lord cause his countenance to shine to you and favor you. May the Lord raise his countenance toward you and grant you peace." However, the line in the Torah right after reads, "They shall bestow my name upon the children of Israel so that I will bless them." According to my favorite poet, Alden Solovey, this line following the blessing doesn't get much commentary, but does give us important clues to how this beautiful and powerful blessing is supposed to work. And so inspired Solovey to write a beautiful meditation, which I will now share with you. Place your name upon us. Place your name upon us, God of grace, so that we may bring peace and love into the world. Place your name upon us, God of justice, so that we may bring awe and discipline into the world. Place your name upon us, God of beauty, so that we may bring harmony and compassion into the world. Place your name upon us, God of eternity, so that we may bring strength and endurance into the world. Place your name upon us, God of splendor, so that we may bring humility and wonder into the world. Place your name upon us, God the foundation, so that we may bring healing and bonding into the world. Place your name upon us, God of sovereignty, so that we may bring nobility and majesty into the world. Place your name upon us, God of understanding, so that we may bring mystery and creation into the world. Place your name upon us, God of wisdom, so that we may bring righteousness and Torah, your word, into the world. Place your name upon us, God the One, so that we may return to you, our source, the crown, our destination. Shabbat Shalom. Okay, so now, with those kind of words of the Torah, we'll please turn to page 253, and we'll take the time and take those who are in need of healing, spiritual, emotional, or physical, into our hearts and prayers. And where are they? And I'll read those in our congregation first, and then I'll get your names, and then we'll read the prayer. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham and Isaac, Jacob, Rebekah, Rachel and Leah, bless the members of our community, Robin Cohen, Raul de Silva, David Hayes, Diana Heller, Rob Hirsch, Penina Kolakant, Barbara Kurtzman, Kit Levine, Sharon Maslow, Rick Moss, Dave Podolsky, Margaret Schmidt, Elliot Schwartz, Cheryl Shellub, John Sitters, Melanie Spielman, John Wheaton,
Beatrice Ehringer,
Diane, Schultz.
Rebecca Brown,
Gary
Kira, anybody? Nancy? Cindy over there? Anybody? And I have Bruce Conger, Michael Beardsley, Mike Gruner, Audrey Gruner. Melanie?
I'm good.
Okay. So, please, and then on page 253, we'll say the prayer for healing.
Okay.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mechor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mechor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Please turn to page 258. And we will do the
Guardian of Life.
Guardian of Life at the bottom of the page. Okay? All together.
O Guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. And a prayer for Israel on the next page. Oh, Heavenly One. And on the next page, facing page, O Heavenly One, we'll read all together.
Okay.
O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace, and send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
And now,
Announcements. Birthdays. What do I do with birthdays? Uh-oh.
announcements.
Yeah, and birthdays. I don't have them. Oh, there. Do you have birthdays?
I don't have them.
Does anybody have announcements? Okay, we'll keep going.
There
Okay.
was no birthdays?
Well, maybe Naomi's going to look it up. We'll continue on.
Okay.
We'll continue on page 282 for the Aleinu. So if you're able, please rise. Lenu Lishabeach Ladon Hakol Letate Gedula Liotzer Breshit Shelo Asanu Kigaye Haratzot Velo Samanu Kimishbachot Hadama Shelo Sam Chalkenu Kachem Vigo Ralenu Kechol Hamonam V'anachnu Korim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And continue on page 287.
80.
What?
Is it 83? Benish?
Oh, if you want to do, do that. Either way. Well, V'ne Emar V'chaya Adonai V'nelech al kol ha'oretz V'yom hahu Yeh Adonai Echad U'shemo Echad. And please remain stand up. Do you have announcements?
Let's see. Here's happy anniversary.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we have, let's see, 6:10, so we have.
Yeah, 6:10.
So today we have happy anniversary to cricket handler and Jerry Boots and Jackie and George Ramsdale for happy anniversaries. And
Yeah,
birthdays we have,
birthdays.
let's see, we have Diane Chesler, Doug Trinidad, and that's it.
That's right.
That's it. So those are our birthdays and anniversaries. So happy birthday and anniversary to our celebrants. And anybody have any announcements for upcoming events? None? We're quiet. Okay. So if you'll remain standing, though, please, and we'll turn to page 295. But let me just close the arc. Sorry to make you stand so long. Okay, so.
We think of our loved one, that one? We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own.
May their
Is that the
You can
room of-
just say,
Huh?
may their memories be for a blessing. Yeah, yeah. So this Shabbat, we remember Sarah Blaustein, aunt of Jackie Zucker, Shelley Blaustein, cousin of Jackie Zucker, Joseph Levine, father of Adam Levine, Rose Moss, grandmother of Rick Moss, and we take into our hearts all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. And so we don't have any. Cindy, do you want to light the yahrzeit candle for your father-in-law? Oh, there were the announcements right there. And on 294, the Kaddish Yatom. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayecho u'vyomei chelchon u'chayei dekol Beit Yisrael, Bagala Uzman Kari V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Olmei Olmaya. Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitroman V'Yitnaseh. V'Yitadar V'Yitalei V'Yitalal Shemei Dukudisha Brichu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata. Tush Bechata V'Netemata Damiran Bialma V'Imru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'Chaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. Osei Shalom Bimromav. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen. You may be seated. And now, let's see. Oh, Sharon, I read that. Where are we? Names a list. Okay. And now, let's see. Okay, Soul Shine. Okay, 1:30. And now we are going to close with two poems by Alden Salovi. And the first one is Soul Shine.
Soul shine. Let your soul shine in your chest. Let your heart sparkle in your eyes. Let joy fill your limbs with radiance. Let love fill your hands with splendor. You are the instrument of God's music, the tool of repairing the earth. Your voice of wonder and awe, the song of hope and tomorrow. This gift, this majesty within, is not yours to keep. It's yours to hold. It's yours to hide. Let your soul shine, luminous, elegant, brave, and true. The beacon of praise, the lantern of song, the summons of holiness to enter our lives and this world. Let your soul shine, set it free to fill the space between here and there and the unknown with abundance and with blessings.
Thank you. And our concluding prayer is called Whispered Prayer. Your whispered prayer, your secret hope, your quiet yearning have holiness and power. They resound in the heavens and echo on high. They are drum and cymbal, trumpet and horn, proclaiming your faith, music of generations, proclaiming your hope, hymns of the heart, proclaiming your dedication to the God of all being, source and shelter, rock and redeemer, light and truth. Your whispered prayer is the song of the ages, your secret hope. In the light of tomorrow, your quiet yearning is the voice of eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, who hears prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, shomei at tefillah. Amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. Thank you. And for those of you that are here in the sanctuary, please join us for the Onik. Thank you again, Kira. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Naomi, our monitor.